LV here. As you can see from the title, we are going to review a different type of album today, and that album is going to be of Koda Kumi's cover album, Eternity, Love and Songs. Like all of my videos, this album was requested, and it was requested by the YouTube user Ashmeshta143. I know I mispronounced your name and I do apologize for that, but I would like to thank you for requesting this album because this was an album that I really wanted to review. I just didn't know when to review it, but I thought why not now, since it does have some cool classics that will never get old to me. So without further ado, let's get started on reviewing Koda Kumi's first cover album, Eternity, Love and Songs. I like how this album starts off with this tremendous amount of dramatic percussion. I thought it was a pretty bold move for her to open up this cover album. And I love the fact that this song has highlights that are worth remembering, such as those guitar riffs that are displayed over and over again, because they really do show off Ku's edgier side as a performer. And those uses of those syncs effects really do induce a certain funk to this song that's rather hard to forget. Her vocals, as always, are consistently good, and that especially gets highlighted the more and more we get into the song, especially when we reach the chorus, which was a ball of energy. I just love the power that she shows here, because within her vocals you can really hear that vivid appeal. I don't know how to describe it. It just, to me, that's what it sounds like, and I really think she did a good job there. Overall, this was an awesome way to open up this album, because in the end, it still maintains this calm and rather sophisticated feel that will strongly incorporate this album within its future tracks. So good job there, Ku. Unlike the first song, this one's a bit more laid back, which strongly again incorporates this album's more sophisticated feel. Although some people might find this song a bit boring, I found myself rather liking the soothing texture that the song does have. And I really love the fact that she used her more huskier vocals for this piece. She just sounds so sexy, yet so reserved. And I can't help but be swept by it. Ku always does a good job of displaying her vocals, and I feel like this is one of the songs that did highlight her more vocal appeal. Overall, the interpretation of this song is quite original, and that's from hearing this smooth percussion, this jazzy piano, and those funky syncs that really emphasize the presentation of this song. I'll admit I've never been the biggest fan of songs like this, but Ku-chan really did bring an interesting feel to this song that will stick with me long after the song is over. This song features a lot more similarities when comparing it to the previous track, but it has more of a tempo, which makes it more delicate in terms of sound. And the guitar she used here really follows this cover album's similar pattern of incorporating a more sophisticated feel. Yet as the song carries on, it has more of a jazzy feel to it more than anything else. Not that she can't rock jazz, of course, it's just I've always felt that this genre suited Ku during her more older era because she fitted it so well. So it sounds kind of weird for her to be singing this, and so sweetly I might add. Either way, I still think she gives some life to this song because she puts her own personal touch within it. Although I am not used to her singing in this particular style, I will say that this song shows a more interesting side to Ku, and it does represent her in a good light. So overall, I did think she did a good job. Most of Ku's fan base have been stating that this is a song that's quite similar to what Ku does all the time, which is more of that smooth R&B. I remember in the beginning, I fought so heavily with those opinions because I couldn't find the connection at all. Yet as the years did pass by and my review skills have sharpened, well, at least I hope so, I realized that they were kind of right. While this ballad does dive into a more simplistic side, it does feature tremendous aspects that strongly associate with Ku's overall style, which is one of the reasons why I strongly believe that this was a song that was made for her. I love the arrangement here. It possesses such a grand melody that makes it so irresistible to me. But despite my rather attachment to this arrangement, I will say that the vocals Ku gives off, well, at least in the beginning, were more mellow. They weren't really anything too spectacular. However, that does change the more and more we get into the song, because while they're more simple this time around, they really don't stand out until we reach this chorus right here. And when she reaches this chorus, that's where I feel they're highlighted the most beautifully. That's one of the main things I really love from Ku. She really does a good job of expressing herself within these songs, and I just love how you can hear that in her voice. And while I am a big fan of her vocals in this song, I have to say that this guitar solo in this bridge is what really takes the cake because it's just so epic. It was a total surprise, especially when I interpreted this song to be more simplistic, and it's because of that reason why I will never judge her more simplistic songs again, because I love the effort that she pours into this bridge right here. It was just, oh my gosh, it was just so beautiful. Again, this was another solid song from Koo. I just love how it features that right amount of technique that highlights Koo as an artist quite beautifully. From what I know of this song, it's distinctively new when comparing it to the other tracks amongst this album, since most of them came from the 70s, 80s, and 90s. This was actually a song that originated from Koo's sister, Misono, and while I am an avid fan of Koo's version, I really can't say the same thing about Misono's version. Don't get me wrong, I don't dislike Misono, but I'm just not the biggest fan of her voice. I do like a couple songs from her, but overall, I don't really find her voice most appealing. But despite my overall opinion there, I really thought that Koo did a good job on this version, and I thought that was really nice of her to cover her sister's song, because in my opinion, this is a ballad that's more contemporary more than anything else. It has this particular vibe to it that makes it easily placed within her overall style. Her vocals, as always, are solid, strong, and well controlled, and that's especially highlighted within this chorus right here. I love how much effort that she puts into this. But despite the many praises I can give this song, I will say that the musical melodies that she incorporated within this song isn't the strongest that she's ever done. Still, in their own way, they still bring their own distinctive feel for them that's distinctively Koo, and that's what I'll give her praise for. Based off this title alone, I originally thought that this was going to be a ballad, but boy was I actually glad to be proven wrong here. This was a song that truly highlighted the utter best out of this cover album. You just can't help but love it. I love that part. Koo-chan really went out of her way for this addictive dance beat that's loaded with these syncing effects. I just love it. Her vocals are more playful here, and I really like that she's using the more higher tone of her voice because it sounds really good for this song. However, my favorite part of this song has to be when she sings within the main verses. I don't know what it is, she just sounds so cool. I just love the feistiness that she's giving off right here. You could actually hear that smile in her voice, and I just love that. This is a song I can listen to forever without ever tiring of it, especially within the chorus itself right here, since it does feature this more electronic instrumental that definitely induces the other sexiness of this song. Love that. Although this isn't my #1 song off this album, it's one of the more stronger tracks amongst this album that I always come back to because it's such a classic. I love that part. We finally get into the album's main highlights. It was this song right here that made me buy this album because this song is the freaking jam. Love that. I don't know what it is. It's just everything about this song is just perfect. I love the fact that right away, the song itself shows tremendous factors that definitely highlight the more interesting things that are going on within this piece. And her vocals for this piece take a more electronica turn. Normally, I wouldn't be the biggest fan of that, but I can still hear traces of her regular voice, which made it quite awesome. But everything pales in comparison to this upcoming chorus. And this chorus, though, be my baby. I love this chorus. It is so cool. And I love the fact that during that chorus, you can hear that electronica that's seeping into her voice, but it sounds really awesome with this tune. And while I will admit I don't like electronica too much, I will admit for this track, it sounded really cool. There's not enough words I can say about this song, because this was a song right here that definitely showed the utter best of electrical pop, and I love that. And Koo-chan really pulled this song off. It's just so many good things about it. I absolutely love the video for it as well. I love the dance, and that thing that she does with her mouth will always slay me. Overall, this was a song that definitely kicks some serious booty. It has tons of energy. It definitely maintains this distinctive mature sound that totally represented the best of Koo's persona, and that's what makes this song work so much. Finally getting out of the album's dance tracks, the album finally gets back into its more peaceful side, and what a gorgeous ballad this song was. I remember the first moment I heard this song, I fell in love with it instantly. The structure within the overall melody is very vivid to me, and it really does display this heartwarming arrangement. Koo-chan's vocals are top-notch as usual. You can definitely hear that within the overall aroma of this song. She hits all of these notes with such grace and never outsings the lyrics here at all. Of course, the very best of her vocals are highlighted during this chorus. And this chorus, you guys. It's just so beautiful, and I love the overall feel of it because it really is something that you can smile to. I'm not sure if you guys can hear it in this video, but I do love the overuses of those echo effects within the percussion because it makes the song a whole lot better. Overall, this is a gorgeous ballad that I will forever be swept by. It definitely does display a gorgeous piece that definitely left its mark all throughout this album, and that's why I feel that this song definitely displayed the absolute best of what this album has to offer. The slow tempo within this R&B ballad really does fit heavenly within Ku's overall style. One of the things I really liked about this ballad is that it takes its time to build and you don't know where it's going to head. And yet in spite of all that, I have to say the things that I really like about this ballad is that it really does show off the gentleness within Ku's vocals. And that was quite an admirable trait based off the overall lingering quality of this song. And those hand clapping effects that she added here were definitely a nice touch that displayed a more grandiose sound, especially when it leads to this chorus right here. I don't know what it is, I just thought that was very pretty. But despite the beauty and the compliments I'm giving this song, I still wouldn't say that this is the best song amongst this cover album. Yet it does inflict nice feelings whenever I listen to it. So in spite of that, it does still carry the regarding theme within its syncs melodies. And that's something I'll always appreciate. While this is a nice song in nature, I have to say that this is probably one of the first songs amongst this album that I don't really care for. Don't misunderstand me. The quality that she does showcase here alongside her vocals were top notch as usual, so don't get me wrong about that. Yet for me, one of the main things that holds this song back for me is that the instrumentals here, or rather that the instrumentals that they display here, don't really showcase anything positive at all for me. I don't know what it is, it's just they tend to drag the song down because it just flows on and on without any sense of creativity, and that does get boring for me after a while. However, in spite of all that, I do like the song's chorus, and I do love the vocals that she shows off in this chorus right here. And I don't care what anyone says, but I absolutely adore the lines where she's right here. I love you, sayonara. That's just such a classic line to me. While this isn't my most favorite tunes amongst this album, I definitely say that the vocals that Ku showcase here is what really makes this arrangement much more interesting to me. This was a ballad that was a little more on the emotional side. For me, it features this tremendous amount of spirit based off its uses of the overall strings in the piano. There's no percussion throughout this track, which made it a lot more vulnerable to me. While I wouldn't say the lyrics to this song are sad, they're definitely emotional. And that's definitely one of the main qualities that I do cherish about it. And I just absolutely love how beautifully she sings this ballad. Because while it definitely isn't showcased here, or perhaps we're in the part where I'm showing you guys, you can definitely hear the emotion that's echoing within her voice. And I feel that's one of the things about this song that makes it absolutely shine. I realize that this opinion is a bit overused, but this was definitely one of the ballads that definitely did display one of the more blissful traits about this cover album. There's not enough words to describe it, but this is definitely a beautiful, beautiful song. It just ends way too soon for me. But I suppose it's because of that ending what makes me cherish this song all the more. All in all, a very gorgeous listen, and I do hope you guys like it. Definitely a fitting end for one of the last songs amongst this album. Sure, it's not as profound as her other signature ballads, yet it does maintain a certain quality amongst its own. The effects within the arrangement are very distinctive, and the overall tone within the melody itself does make you a bit curious of where it's going to go. Yet I feel one of the best things about this song is that I love the evolution between the verses and the chorus, since it definitely does add a very nice addition within Ku's overall persona. Her vocals for this piece were very smooth and deep, and that was definitely one of the more better highlights about this song that I will forever gush about, especially when it showcases here. Last song for you. I love that part. Like I said before, while it isn't as profound as the other tracks amongst this cover album, it definitely does leave its mark, especially when we range into this chorus right here, which was absolutely beautiful to me. I absolutely loved her English lines within this chorus. I don't know, for me, the overuses that she's displaying within these English lines, it feels like she's talking to me, and I really do appreciate that factor about this song. Overall, this was a very nice ending amongst this cover album, and I enjoyed every minute of it since the very aroma of it does move me, and that's something I always appreciate. Overall, this was a very enjoyable cover album to listen to, and I really like the charming qualities that she used within this album, because it definitely does showcase the album's overall sweet theme. However, despite the praise and despite the highlights that I can give within the instrumentals of these tunes, I will say that the majority of this album did consist of ballads, and while that isn't necessarily a bad thing, I just feel like Ku-chan could have balanced the genres into a much more stronger setting. Other than that, the diversity within this album is absolutely astounding, and that there is what highlights this cover album beautifully. So now I'll show you guys the album art. For this cover album, I just got the standard CD edition, and while I usually do get the CD DVD edition, I believe for this album it didn't come with the DVD, it was only just a CD. I believe the videos for this album didn't come out until a later date, because instead the videos for this album, they were displayed on her Deja Vu album, which I do have right here. So here's the standard CD edition, and while I do like the elegance of this cover, I will have to say that this isn't the official cover art. This is actually a slipcase, and here is the official album art, and here's the back. And yes, I do notice there is a giant crack right there, which I'm really mad about, but I do hope you guys can see the beauty of this picture all the same. So here's the inside of this album. Nothing too extravagant, of course. It really is just a simple feel. And that's it. Despite the earlier complaints I stated about this album, in the end, I'm still quite satisfied with it. Ku-chan really stepped up in terms of production value and quality, and that there is what really made listening to this album a breath of fresh air. So that was my review on Koda Kumi's first cover album, Eternity, Love, and Songs. I do hope that everyone had a chance to enjoy what I had to say amongst this review, because this definitely was a cover album that really did showcase the ultimate aura of who Koda Kumi really is, and that's something I definitely did enjoy about it. Again, thank you guys for watching this video, and special thanks to the YouTube user AshMesta143. I do apologize again because I do know I butchered your name, but still, I would like to thank you for requesting this album, because this definitely was an album that really did solidify Ku's status as the ultimate diva, and that's something that I always love about this album. Once again, thank you guys for watching this video. As always with my videos, if anyone out there has any albums or singles they would like me to review, just leave it in the comments below and I'll be sure to get to it in the future. So until next time, you guys, bye!